Today I'm going to teach you how to sort the laundry before you wash it. We're going to go through all the steps here. It is very important that you separate it correctly, otherwise you can damage your clothes or even your washer. We are first of all going to look through the clothes as we separate them into two piles. We're going to make one pile for your colored clothes and we're going to make another pile here for your white clothes. Now in the past people used to make three piles of clothes. They would make one for the darks, one for the bright colored clothes and one for the white clothes. This is really not necessary these days anymore because washing technology has come so far that you can generally wash all your colored clothes together. I will say though, if you have brand new very light colored clothes, you may want to separate them so you avoid color bleeding onto the brighter clothes. So anyway, let's just get started here. We're going to take all the dark clothes here, or colored and dark clothes, and put them together in one pile. This is a good example of something that it's a little bit of a judgment thing. As you can see, this is a very bright garment. It's almost white, but it still has some color to it. So I'm going to add it to the colored pile here. And we're just going to continue doing this here with all the things. As you are looking through each of these clothes, you want to keep a checklist of things that we're going to look out for here. First of all, if any of the garments have pockets, for example, we're going to check the pockets on each of the garments, make sure that there isn't any change or even worse, something with a lot of color in here. We're going to take all that out from the garments before we pop it into the pile. At the same time, we're also going to check if there are significant stains on the garments, like this one. This is, well, essentially a rag, but it is a little towel here. This one has very much stains on it, so what we're going to do is that we're going to place it with the white clothes, but we're going to place it a little bit to the side here because we need to pre-treat that before we throw it into the washer. Otherwise it won't be clean properly. On the same topic here, if the garments have any holes in them, they've started ripping a little bit, you really should fix that before you wash them, because during wash they're actually going to break even further from all the agitation during the wash. So if anything is damaged, also place that to the side, fix it, and then wash it later. If you are new to doing laundry, what I do suggest that you do the first time is that you check the tags here on the garments. You can find a lot of information that may surprise you. Like some garments, they can't handle, for example, high heat. Others can't handle tumble drying. Some garments may not be able to handle bleach, even though they're white. This is very important information to know so that you don't damage your clothes. So if you take a little bit extra time now, the first time that you're doing this, just familiarize a little bit with the tags. If you see something you're a little unsure about, perhaps you place this garment to the side for now so that you can do some research before you wash it along with all the other clothes. I'm going to add a link in the description to a resource where you can see what all the different little markings on the clothes mean. So let's just move on here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you don't need to see this. Alright, so I have created two preliminary little piles here. There is one thing I forgot to mention. If you have clothes that have multiple colors on them, like this dirty old rag, you need to take a judgment call here yourself. Generally, I would go towards the darker pile if it has color on it, because the reason that we're separating these two piles now is so that we can take the whites and avoid color bleeding. There are some other reasons that I'll go over, but that is the primary concern here. If you place this rag now together with the bright clothes, we are going to go out from the settings that we're going to use when we wash the white clothes. That means we're going to focus on keeping them white and bright. So the colors on this white slash, what is it actually, brown? Green, I'm actually colorblind. Green, the green is going to start to fade. On the other hand, if we add this to the dark pile here, what's going to happen is that we're going to preserve the color, but the white is going to start getting more and more muddy, especially if you do this multiple times. Also, there is the concern with just pure color bleeding happening on the garment. So make a judgment call. For this one in particular, I'm going to add it to the white garments because I want to bleach this. We're going to use a lot higher temperature when we wash the whites. We're also going to add a little bit of oxygen-based bleach to that pile. This is going to help keep the whites nice and bright. On the other hand, the dark pile, we are going to focus much more on preserving color. A big problem when you wash the colored garments is that they're going to slowly over time going to start lose their colors. If you can look, for example, at the new t-shirt and an old one, you will see that the new one is going to be significantly more vivid in its color than the one that has been washed many times. So we want to focus on preserving that color by using lower temperature, lower spin speed. Generally, I like to save up enough clothes so that I can make multiple piles here. We're going to even split this further down here coming up. If we just have, for example, one white t-shirt and you have a bunch of colored clothes, you have to make a judgment call whether it's worth it to wash that t-shirt on its own. You know that there can be problems with color bleeding now, but is it worth doing an entire wash just for that white t-shirt? Probably not. Then you may want to wait, or you can run it through something like a quick wash, which is a very fast and energy conserving setting on your washer. A little bit of a judgment call there as well, as you can see. All right, so the next step, now that we have these two piles, first of all, I'm just gonna take these clothes to the side now, and we're going to pre-treat them at this point. This one has a lot of stains. There was a sock here that I need to mend if I want to keep it. Actually, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash, but if I wanted to keep it, I would need to mend it now. So for pre-treating stains, what you generally can just do is put the garment into a basin and rub it with a little bit of detergent to be able to remove the stain. That way we don't need to use so much agitation and high temperature when we're going to wash the garments in the washing machine, and that will save on costs as well. I will make a video on that in the future, so if it's done, I'll link it right there. Next step is that we're going to split the piles down into even further categorizations. This is pretty important to do this. So we're going to make one pile for the heavy duty garments. That's going to be your towels, think bed sheets, really thick garments. These generally need a lot more water to be properly cleaned, especially cotton. If you have any workwear or even denim pants, though I would not advise to wash denim pants together with towels, as that's going to be transfer a lot of lint from the towels. But if you just had regular manual labor work pants, that could go in that pile as well, because we're going to use a little bit of a harsh treatment on these garments. The next pile that we're going to create is what I like to call the regular pile. In this pile, we're going to place, you know, your socks, your t-shirts, just regular cotton clothes. If you have, for example, khakis or something, that would also be a good fit for this. Just your regular clothes. It will make more sense now that I described the third pile, which is going to be the delicates pile. So in the delicate pile, we are going to place anything that it really can't handle a lot of heat, can handle a lot of agitation. So that's going to be all your wool garments, all your synthetic garments, all your silk, any really thin garments. I don't know if I have any to give as an example. Perhaps this one. This one is pretty see-through. That's going to go in the delicates pile as well. Also, if you have anything with lace underwear, delicate bras like this one. This one is in a delicates bag, so that is going to even further protect it. Not essential, but it is something that we will talk about here in a minute or two. Yeah, just anything that you can think of that it looks like it should break very easily. You want to place it into this pile. Let's just get started here. First, we're going to do the whites pile. This is all going in one pile. Towels and like thick stuff. And we are now left with just one t-shirt there. So ideally this would be two separate piles, but what I'm going to do instead is that I'm just going to wait a little bit with washing this white t-shirt until I have a lot more. I feel it's very wasteful to just wash one white t-shirt. Now for the big pile here. First of all, like I said, this one is so soft and delicate. This one will be in the delicates colored pile. Moving on here we have a cotton t-shirt. That's going to be in the regular pile. And here we have another cotton t-shirt. This is a synthetics hat, so that goes with the delicates. And we have cotton t-shirt, workout pants that are synthetic. Here we have some new joggers. This one is actually made from a synthetic blend, so that will go in the synthetics as well. Same with this one. And wool, synthetics. Synthetics. A lot of synthetics here. Yes, and actually all of these socks are made from synthetics and wool. So here we have the results of splitting these into piles. Now, you can go even further here if you want to. You could separate anything that will attract lint from anything that will give off lint. So for example, think your towels. That's something that's going to give off a lot of lint. If you want to separate that, for example, something like corduroy pants, which is going to be a magnet for lint, synthetics also, but generally we don't wash synthetics along with towels, for example, so that's not really a big deal. You could even go so far as to separate all the synthetics out from the rest of the delicates, as the synthetics can handle slightly more agitation than what the rest of the delicates can handle. For the delicate pile, what you want to do here is that you want to turn these clothes inside out. That way they are going to be preserved longer. You don't have to do this, but it can be advantageous. But if this is a little bit too much now, since you're just learning about doing laundry, perhaps just wash them like this for now, and in the future you can turn them inside out. Also, like I mentioned, delicates bags on this delicate pile is going to be very effective. It also works the same way as kind of preserving them, just even better in the bag. One thing I forgot to mention earlier that is very, very, very important is that you need to make sure that anything with zippers, buttons, anything that can snag onto other garments, you want to close that up. And preferably even place it into garment bags, or place other garments into garment bags if you're going to wash those things along with them, so that you don't damage the clothes. This is such a big problem, especially with zippers. Same thing if you forget something inside the pockets of the garments. It can really cause havoc on your garments. For the regular colored pile here, we're not going to do anything specific with it. We're just going to wash that as is in a regular cotton cycle. Or from the future here. I almost forgot to mention earlier, if you have any garments from the pile that with all the regular clothes that are not heavily soiled, it would be okay to just move them down to the delicate pile as well. You don't want to move the other way with the light garments up towards the more intense settings, but moving them down can be okay, especially from the regular to the delicates pile. It's going to be more gentle on your clothes as well, but only do this if the clothes are not really soiled at all. If you just have a little smell or something like along those lines. I don't have any heavy duty colored ones, but I have a heavy duty whites pile. What we're going to do with this pile is that we're going to run it through a heavy duty cycle. That's going to use a lot more agitation and a lot more water. We can also use a little bit of a stronger detergent in that one, should we so please. At this point, we're ready to place the things into the washing machine. So the ones that you have pre-treated, stained, fixed, you can toss that back into that pile. As for the detergent you should use, I generally recommend this one. It's like really simple to use sheets that you just pop directly into the tray of your washing machine. It's a really gentle one. It works well with all the types of clothes. If you want to buy this one in particular, I'm going to add a little link down in the video description. If you subscribe to their service, you will actually get a 40% discount on that as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you're good to go there. For the white garments, I recommend that you add a little bit of oxygen-based bleach to them, if they can handle it. Again, you need to read the tags, especially the first time you do this. That way your clothes are going to stay a lot whiter. You get kind of a nice vivid white like on this t-shirt that I'm wearing. Definitely avoid this on your colored garments. The colored garments need a little bit of a lower temperature. This one is in the delicate cycle, that is a low temperature. As for the colored cotton clothes, we're going to turn down the temperature to, I would go under 20 degrees Celsius, can go higher, but then color bleeding becomes a problem. And if you have any clothes that are specifically soiled, please pre-treat them before. Like, it's not okay to take this t-shirt that can handle 40 degrees Celsius and put it along with the towels that should be washed at 60 degrees Celsius. That's going to damage this t-shirt. Then you're much better off pre-treating it or washing it along with some other clothes that can handle the temperature. Always go out from the garment that can handle the least if you're going to wash them together. So it's never going to be perfect to wash garments, but this is the best we can do when we're going to wash different types of combinations of fabric, different strengths, different soil levels, different thicknesses. You need to experiment a little bit with this. You will see over time how much you need to wash these garments. I'm going to make a lot more videos on that in the future. Actually, I have this huge newsletter series now that you can check out if you subscribe to my newsletter at organizing.tv/cheat sheet. Also send you a cheat sheet with how to save money on doing laundry. And I'm going to teach you like all the things you need to know about doing laundry properly. I hope you like this video. I'm going to make a video on how to actually wash the clothes next that you can check out here as well. And thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.